Hey everyone, MixRPD back with you. Been a while. I'm coming from the bottom right of the screen. This is a new thing. I got a different mic up, some new things. It's freezing outside. I'm wearing 7 sweaters. But yeah, let's do a mix breakdown. So we got the great D Money here. I did this whole record for the record. I believe it was in October. And yeah, great guy, great experience. D Money, love him. Okay, I thought his picture would be there. It isn't, but whatever. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into it. Let's play it down a little bit.
Don't let me down. Another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got...
You can hear the beat there and a little bit of the hook. So what is it? It's a song of nostalgia and a little bit about pain and just, real life stuff. So yeah, what did we do? Got a lovely beat here. I think D probably did it himself, but I'm not sure. So not doing too much here because it sounded pretty great, but we just took a little bit of low end out, a decibel of shelf out at 76 hertz, and then it's going off to the instrumental bus here, and this is just, let's play it.
Day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed.
So you can see this band, this high mid band is active here, and this is to deal with the snare, which was getting a little bit too, excuse me, a little bit over abrasive. So this is just tucking the snare in a little bit. I'll turn it off.
I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, I'm out of work, got a lot of hurt running around my brain, wishing I was jerking high to forget about the pain. Insane be the world, insane be the pearl that we all try to get, obtain in our world.
So you can hear that just pushes the snare back nicely. It's a little bit like, whoa, what are you doing? Back up without it. So yeah, let's get on to the vocals because that's pretty much all we did with the beat. So we got a hook and we got a singing hook and a rapping hook. So I considered the rapping one to be like the main hook. So I sort of, it's one vocal in the middle, and it's kind of like the main part of the hook, and then the singing goes around it and is sort of more in the background. So let's have a look at what we did. So a little bit of RVox here and some de-essing at 7 kilohertz or 7.5. A little bit of soothe. The MJUC to push the vocal forward a little bit. This is like, it's kind of like a stay level, right? So it's like an old broadcast limiter, so it just sort of keeps the voice there. You don't need too much of it, usually. And then a little MV2, just pushing the quiet stuff up just a little bit. And a little bit of EQ. So let's try to bypass all these plugins maybe.
Another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of wealth.
Yeah, so that kind of disappears. Let's see what's up without the MJUC here. Let's bypass this one.
Another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So
yeah, so that's a big, I'm boosting it up here about 6 decibels here. And I think this makeup gain on the MJUC and certain compressors has a different sound than just like turning it up with the fader. Yeah, I lean into it, I use it. I have an instinct for what might be right and what might be wrong. But yeah, this box is very colorful. You can see this hi-fi, lo-fi, or hi-fi dark thing where we got it towards hi-fi, so that like kind of brightens and sweetens it. That can be nice. Sometimes it can be nice to push it more. But then here I've backed this off from like the normal default like 2 on the clean to just almost completely clean because it's a little too crunchy. But nonetheless, even with that clean, it's still pretty colorful. So then just bringing up a little bit on the other end of it. I like to do that. I think if you watch my mix breakdown videos, you'll probably see that I do that a lot. Just a little bit of upwards compression after something maybe a little bit dirty. A little bit, you know, adding harmonics. And then on the end, we're just bringing up a little bit of 880 hertz here, dB in a bit. And we've got the parallel chain. Where's the parallel chain? There it is. So this is getting mixed in underneath the vocal. It's about 30 decibels down from the main hook, and we're adding a little bit of distortion. So just some de-essing to keep the high frequencies tucked in on this parallel chain. Some big compression here.
So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute the parallel.
Wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself.
So it's pretty quiet in this one. It's subtle, but it's filling it out. But that parallel chain is gonna be on most of the parts. I think it's probably just not on the singing part. So let's go to the singing part at this point. Where are we at here? There we go. So this one, I'm using some more effects to push it into like kind of like a different universe out here. And also this ozone imager to push the width out a little bit. So let's listen without the imager.
Don't let me down.
So on and off.
Don't let me
So see how it's more in the middle now? Now more out here. Oops. Didn't mean to bang you there on the mic.
Don't let me down.
Okay, so there's that. You can probably hear my sump pump firing. It's rainy and miserable outside. Cold. So yeah, we got some we got a bit of high pass before the imager and some distortion here.
Don't let me down. I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got.
Yeah, so if you bypass the distortion there, he kind of goes into too much of a different universe. It's a little too distant. But let's check it out without. Let's check out some of these effects. We got the Galaxy Verb, or we got the Shimmer. Let's do that one first since it's right here. Okay, that's gonna be quiet, so I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. So that's what that's adding. We can look at the settings here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but this is a setting that I have up in my template, and I like. Sometimes I use it if I use the Shimmer. Sometimes I might go for something else. I might tweak this or go for a different preset or just make something up from scratch. But yeah, that's a cool plugin. And then there's the Galaxy Verb, which I think is on, again, a lot of things. Maybe everything except the wrapping hook. So where's that at? There it is. So let's listen to that on its own.
Got breath of wealth, peace.
Okay, again, we're going to have to turn this one up, I think. So hopefully you can hear that. It's kind of adding like a very ethereal, long. You can see it's actually not a verb. It's a delay. It's a series of delays. It's this rhythm. How do you change the mode here? Yeah, this here, rhythm echo. So it's this mode here on Echo Boy, and it's like 16 different repeats. It's like set up in, so it's like a sequence of delays. but it translates into being like a very long but very transparent reverb almost. So yeah, that's kind of like a blanket across the whole thing. Let's listen to the whole mix and take the Galaxy Verb out.
Life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, I'm out of work, got a lot of hurt running around my brain, wishing I was drunk and high to forget about the pain insane.
So it's just kind of like the special sauce. It creates the dreamy sort of atmosphere, the cinematic atmosphere of the song, right? And I think if you take the shimmer and the Galaxy Verb out, let's play it now.
Peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of wealth. Peace of mind, I've got a sense of...
So I don't know if you can feel that sort of... Oh, wait, did I have the... did I have the shimmer turned up too loud? I did. Oh no. Okay, let's play it again.
I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels. So I say to myself, I'm out of work, got a lot of hurt running around my brain, wishing I was drunk and high to forget about the pain. Insane be the world, insane be the pearl that we...
Yeah, so you can really feel that when I mute those two effects, it really sort of just takes the special sauce out of it, and it seems very ordinary and kind of boring. And you know, it doesn't seem as captivating, I think, right? Anyways, we move onward, and then yeah, the singing hook has the parallel chain on it as well. It's going off to a hook bus here, but nothing's happening. I'm just turning it up a little bit altogether, and then we can get into the verses. Well, actually, we can look at the. No, yeah, let's start the first verse at this point, I think.
Be the pearl that we all time excels. So I say to myself, I'm out of work, got a lot of hurt running around my brain, wishing I was drunk and high to forget about the pain. Insane be the world, insane be the pearl that we all...
Okay, so we're starting off here with a high pass, pretty normal, about 74 hertz, exactly 74 hertz even. A bit of de-essing again, standard 5.5 hertz on the shelf. So basically it's going to be sort of tucking everything higher than that, everything higher than 5.5 kilohertz. Just tucking the high frequencies a little bit when they get sizzly on S's and things like that. And then it's into a 1176 here.
The pearl that we all try to get, obtain in our world. Used to spliff it, we would kick it from dusk till dawn. Hazy days made our way, chased the...
Looks like we're getting about a decibel of compression on the 4:1 ratio. And yeah, that's about it. Effects wise, it's just getting the Galaxy Verb and the lead, and the parallel chain is on there as well.
Made our way, chased the girlies in the mall. We trained cheese out, week in and week out. Freaked out, meeting with Seagun Taki was wild. Rolling on.
And then there's a bit of a... For my critique, I probably could have turned the breath noises down a little bit, but yeah, we didn't do a lot of work on this one, really. I mean, it was pretty good as is. I think I only did one revision. I did an initial bit of mixing on it, and then did one revision, and it was kind of good to go. But yeah, we're boosting a little bit here at some certain frequencies on this vocal. But yeah, D Money is not a picky man, really. He's a simple man, and he knows what he likes, and he liked it, and so we went with it. And short schedule and all that, and yeah, but I think probably 16 songs to deal with on this album. So yeah, just kind of never got back to it. And if I did, maybe I would have turned the breath noises down. But I think it's pretty good as it is. So. And then we can go on to the second verse, which is pretty similar, right? Like I would have just dragged the same plugins down. I think the only change I made here is the release is a little bit different on the compressor. Yep, just slightly. Just for a bit of a different feel, I guess. Oh, and I think there's a bit of an EQ difference as well. So it's completely different, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so just tucking a little bit in the high mids there. And let's see if I had the same EQ. Yeah, with the same EQ. So relatively the same, really. And then both of these, let's listen to the verse, I guess, a little bit.
I say to myself, droplets off my brow, nauseous feelings going down. Halls are closing in with the sky about to fall. How does one break free from the chains of silence? Heavy wears the crown with a soul full of mileage, straight from the bottle that was drowning his dreams. But his mom stepped.
Okay, so verse 1, verse 2, and the entire hook, I believe, let's look, yep, the entire hook are going through this lead vocal bus here. So first of all, we just have another bit of high passing because, as I probably stated before, when you're going through a series of compressors and things like that that are bringing up levels, the low end will tend to come up again and again and again. So just trying to keep that tucked down because you really don't need it. And then we have a bit of the MJUC again.
But his monster Vader had his back to get clean. He was once asked about all the styles he's got. His replies, many voices in my thoughts. So I keep the faith in me, just like my Caesar taught. Wing Chun, JKD, saved my life.
Always impressed at this guy. I mean, on the one track I was boosting it 6 decibels, but this one I'm boosting it, what, like 1 or half a decibel or something at the most? But the way the vocal just goes so far back without it on, it's crazy. And then pretty simple, again, just a bit of tube tech on the end. So this is just keeping all the vocals tucked a little bit.
JKD saved my life, Western Canada. Martial arts Chuck Lee broke this mold, rearranged my stance for life to just flow. Another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time.
So yeah, looks like we're getting about 2 dB of compression in the verses and about 4 or 5 in the choruses. So yeah, that's that. And then it's pretty much there's no background vocals in this. It sounds like the background vocals that do exist are incorporated into some of the tracks. So nothing to really worry about there. And then the whole mix is going to the Titanium multiband. So this is like a tube tech multiband, 3-band thing. And just tapping 1, 2, 3. So it's like highs, mids, and lows. And so just tapping like maybe half a decibel. Let's see.
Yet time excels, so I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of.
You can see here this meter here. So when it comes down to the first light, that's like about half a decibel. So that's about what we're doing. So let's give this one a bypass.
So I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got a sense of self. Anxiety, depression, I'm overwhelmed, yet time excels, so I say to myself.
So yeah, it does a lot, this guy. I don't always use it, but when I think it's working, I think it's working really well, like it is here. I mean, the whole image seems to tighten up. The snare feels very loose without it. It sort of goes out into the sides in a lazy way that's not very satisfying. It tightens it up, and yeah, imaging 3D kind of, it just tightens it up and it makes it sound like a record for me when you get it dialed in and when it's the thing to use. So we got that, and then it's off to the ATR tape, the API EQ, no EQ engaged, just the line amp. And Pultec EQ, giving a little bit of 60 hertz and a little bit of 12 kilohertz actually. I normally do 10, but it was 12 on this one. And then into the SSL distortion here, saturator. So yeah, let's give the whole thing a bypass here on the master bus chain.
So I say I'm out of work, got a lot of hurt running around my brain. Wishing I was drinking high to forget about the pain. Insane be the world, insane the pearl that we all try to get, obtain in our world. Used to spliff it, we would kick.
Yeah, again, it's similar to cutting out the 2 effect channels, where the whole mix seems to just get kind of like sterile and not as interesting, I think. And then after that, we just have a little bit of a mastering chain, so widening, some widening kind of thing here, where we're expanding the high frequencies in the sides, and we're expanding the low frequencies in the center. And then an ozone chain here, bit of EQ, imaging, widening the higher frequencies a bit of dynamic EQ, and a bit of limiting. And then I've taken to doing serial limiting these days, so I usually use actually two limiters nowadays, one in front of the other, or a slightly different arrangement in the gain staging. But yeah, this so let's see, it looks like this one's doing about 1.6.
Used to spliff it, we would kick it from dusk till dawn. Hazy days made our way, chased the girlies in the mall. We trained cheese out, week in and week out. Freaked out, meeting with Seagun Taki was wild.
And the ozone one's doing, there's a breath noise, and the ozone one's doing less on average, it looks like, but every once in a while doing about the same, about 1.5 decibels of limiting. And I didn't look there, but there's probably, yeah, a little bit of upward compression and a little bit of soft clipping before the limiter. So yeah, that's pretty much the deal here. Not a crazy complicated mix. Oh, one last thing that we can do is listen to the original demo mix a little bit. So let's have a listen to this. This is like D-Money's rough mix.
Don't let me down. Another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got sense of self, anxiety, depression, and more. Time excels, so I say to myself, another day for life, I've got breath of wealth, peace of mind, I've got sense of self, anxiety, depression, and more.
Okay, so it sounds like that's not really a fair comparison, because it sounds like the beat is different. Like it had some reverb added, or delay added, I think, by him. That's not present in the reference. So not really a fair comparison there. But anyways, that's what I have, so that's what we did. But yeah, so it's a great track. Hope you guys check it out. Hope you guys check out D-Money. There he is. Go stream him. Lots of great stuff. But yeah, hope you learned something there, and we'll be back at you soon with some more videos and some more mix breakdowns. Have fun.